Hi, Oh My Goodness here, bringing you part 3 of my Infinite Crisis tutorial series. In this video I'm going to talk to you about champions. There are two ways to discuss how champions play, their overall playstyle and their various meta roles. I'm going to focus on their playstyles here. There are 6 distinct roles that the game categorizes champions into: Assassin, Blaster, Marksman, Bruiser, Enforcer, Controller. A quick way to distinguish between these roles is in the graph comparing their health versus damage output. Keep in mind that these aren't set in stone, but more of a starting place for champions at the beginning of a game. Enforcers are champions that have high health and low damage output. They are melee and have one skill that provides a shield of some sort, and another skill that either slows or interrupts enemy champions. Their primary purpose is to soak up a ton of damage in large team fights. Bruisers are champions that have moderate health and moderate damage output. They are melee and have a gap closing skill. A gap closing skill is one that allows you to either jump to or pull an enemy champion towards you. Their damage is split between their skills and basic attack. You can build a bruiser with more health and more damage, but generally are more effective being built either complete health or complete damage. Controllers are champions that have low health, also known as squishy, and low damage. These champions tend to start out weak in both of these aspects because they have a number of utility skills that provide buffs such as shields, attack speed increases, or healing. Additionally, they have a measure of crowd control. This essentially means that they are able to control the movement of enemy champions in some kind of fashion. They can either be melee or ranged and get most of their damage from their skills. They primarily keep their team alive and engage in team fights longer. The next 3 champion roles all have low health but high amounts of damage. However, their damage output is done in different ways. Assassins are champions that are melee and are highly mobile. They have the ability to chase down enemy champions easily. They do most of their damage with their skills in one-time bursts, where all their skills are used back-to-back, before they quickly escape from the fight. On the other hand, Blasters are effectively ranged and are unable to chase down enemy champions or escape from fights. They do most of their damage with their skills as well, but generally over multiple bursts, so they will usually have to cycle through their skills more than once. To prevent enemy champions from running, they usually have one skill shot trip, which momentarily keeps the enemy champion where they are. I say skill shot because the trip is not guaranteed unless you execute the skill correctly. Marksmen are ranged champions that have one gap closer or escape skill to better position themselves in fights. Their damage output is mostly sustained and consistent through their basic attack. They do more damage the more basic attacks they get off in a row. These champions usually rely on critical and attack speed increase artifacts in-game. With that, here's a quick chart that summarizes all the things I mentioned. Again, this is simply talking about their various playstyles. This doesn't translate directly to their various map meta roles, because an assassin or bruiser could be a jungler or a laner, but I'll talk about more of that later. Now, I purposely didn't cover every champion skill specifically because most casual players should find this enough to figure out what champion they want to play. If you're thinking about playing competitively, then you will need to learn about every champion's skill to know how to dodge or stay out of range. However, for most people, I think this should be enough to understand what to do in team battles, and I'm going to cover that more in detail in my next video. Thanks.